Hello everyone, I am Left, and welcome back to another competitive analysis video. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Game 1 between NRG and Rogue in the VIS Pro League. So this series happened before the last one that I did, but I watched this game on Mob Crush, and I thought it was really interesting, and I thought there was a lot of stuff that I could break down and help you guys learn from. So we're going to be going over NRG vs Rogue Game 1. I might do Game 2. I don't know. I haven't decided about doing Game 2 yet, but I might do that one next. Unless more VIS matches happen, because then I might do those instead. So, to start, the teams. NRG, recently acquired, is like pieces of the old Nemesis crew, plus Hardek. So it's Hardek, Chombo 305, and Gatsby. And then Rogue, formerly Vertigo Black. They were acquired by Rogue, X-Hammy, Evil, and Wizard Sibs. So, pretty even matchup if I was just going to make a prediction. I like Rogue's lineup, partly because I'm kind of friends with Wizard Sibs. I used to meet him in solo queue all the time when we were like hotness and pretty good level, but I digress. So we're going to be doing some competitive analysis in this video, draft first, then gameplay clips. We're going to go all the way through the game, look at everything that I thought was, relevant, interesting, we should stop here, all that sort of stuff. Also going to be experimenting with some better drawing on the screen and better ways to draw attention to certain things that I'm talking about. So I hope you guys all enjoy this, learned a lot, get better at Vainglory, and help you guys climb the ranks. So that's going to be it for the intro, and I'll see you guys all in the video. Okay, so let's take a look at this draft in Game 1. So the bans from the two teams are Lance and Vox, and Lyra and Ringo. Now, these really are no surprise. Vox and Ringo are really top tier picks right now. Both of them played Weapon Power. It's really echoes of the 1.6 meta back in 2015, if I remember correctly. Then Lance and Lyra are both huge impact roamers right now. Usually we might see a Finn ban, but that's a little bit different that they actually banned Lyra. Usually you see Lyra coming out and the Finn being banned. So both of those high impact versatile roamers are off the table, and then the roamers for the two teams are Arden for NRG and Finn for Rogue. I particularly like Rogue's pick of Finn for the team that they have Baron and Skye. Now, other than being the Valentine's duo, Baron and Skye have a lot of great synergies in the way that they can dive or disengage with their B abilities. Baron has the jump jets, which he can use for some aggressive in-your-face tactics, and so does Skye with the Surrey Strike. She can do the same thing, just with crystal power. So I like that synergy going for Rogue off the bat. Next, let's talk about NRG. They have the classic, or coming to be the cancer comp of 2.1 here, and that's going to be Adagio, Blackfeather, Arden. Now, what this comp is all about is getting the Blackfeather in there, boosting him with the Vanguard, healing him with Gift of Fire, and putting down the Agent of Wrath, whether it's on the Blackfeather or the Adagio, and just getting a huge amount of damage off. So I also like NRG's comp, but there's going to be a disparity in how these comps are strong in the game. NRG is going to have to really focus on the early game, even though they have a Blackfeather. They're going to have to really, they're really going to have to exploit the Adagio's power early game, because he's really going to be the only one with an early game spike. Now, the combo of Baron and Skye is only going to get stronger late game, to a point where they're going to be able to outmaneuver the Blackfeather really late. So Hardek is in kind of a weird spot, because he's playing a late game scaling hero, but he's not going to be allowed to scale late game. So they're really going to have to maximize Gatsby's presence on the Adagio if they want to win this game. So that's all I have to say about the draft. Kind of a long segment, but let's get right into the gameplay clips. This first clip is a small one where we're going to see Hardek fighting Wizard Sibs, but I want to stop it right here to point out the Finn. So the Finn is going to use Polite Company here while Skye is backtracking away, and this is going to be integral to the rest of the game. Finn trying to keep the Blackfeather off of Skye or Baron, and him having all of that CC at his disposal on low cooldowns in the late game is going to make it very hard for Hardek to conserve his Rose offensives to actually get a kill, and moreover just not die. as you saw there, Hardek just could not get onto Wizard Sibs, just maybe because of the boots, but also partly because of the Finn, and the Finn is going to be huge in the late game in keeping Hardek off of his carries. In this next fight, there's a little bit of a miscommunication coming in from NRG. They're going to dive the Finn using Hardek's Blackfeather with Agent of Wrath on him, and they're going to really go hard onto the Finn. Now, Chambo is going to throw down the gauntlet, but Hardek has already rose offensived away and escaped. So this is a completely wasted ultimate from Chambo, and Hardek is pretty low and on his way to death here, and he would definitely be dead if he had stayed. So really all this is a wasted ultimate from Chambo, and while they do draw out a couple of ultimates from Rogue, they're really useless ones, like a Weapon Baron using Ion Cannon when he doesn't really have very much weapon power yet. So it's kind of a bad trade for NRG, and it's really just because of that miscommunication between Hardek and Chambo, and we're going to see that more as this game progresses. So as this unpauses here, just regular old Vainglorious level teams doing the dance around each other. We don't really want to fight, we're just going to poke each other until something happens. And eventually here, what's going to happen is Gaspy's going to get hooked. Now, there's no way he could, or there is actually a way he could have seen this coming. Any good Finn would have hooked right there, and Gaspy probably should have seen it coming, but the Crucible was already burned from Chambo. So essentially, Gaspy is dead. There's no way he's going to get out of there, especially because he's an Adagio. Adagio is slow, has no movement abilities. Now, the logical thing to do here from Hardek and Chambo is run away, take your losses, and get back to base, or your turret. But of course, that's not what's going to happen here. NRG is going to turn back, and they're eventually actually going to lose Chambo as well. Chambo thinks he can save Gaspy, and that's just not going to happen. He in turn gets caught in the death ball that is Rogue, and Hardek is now the only one left. He actually buys a weapon infusion here, thinking he's going to 1v3. Now, this is really short-sighted of Hardek. He's not going to 1v3. Rogue knows that he's somewhere around here, and that he's not going to leave. So I'm not really sure why he bought that weapon infusion. I don't know if it was like a split second of I think I can 1v3 them. I mean, he didn't even have a Serpent's Mask yet, so this was just a big waste of gold by Hardek, and he's narrowly going to escape here, and that was just, I don't know, didn't really go well for NRG at all, because of the miscommunication and Gaspy not being able to block the hook. This next fight is just another highlight of how Evol is doing what Evol is doing to protect Wizard Sibs. You see Hardek again trying to go in a straight line against Wizard Sibs, but he's just getting a forward barrage Frostburn to the face. He gets the Vanguard from Chambo, but really he's already almost dead. He started this fight at like half health. I'm not sure why. Now Hammy is a little bit out of position on the Baron, and Gaspy is coming down where he should be. So that technically makes it a 3 versus 2, but the way Hardek has been trying to engage on Wizard Sibs, he might as well not be a hero right now. If he tries to go in again, he will just instantly die. Look at the proximity that Evol has to Wizard Sibs right now. This is full, he's in full keep the Blackfeather away from Sky mode, basically, and he's making it really hard for Blackfeather to get in without getting quibbled, without getting polite companied away from the Sky. And he's just making it really easy for Wizard Sibs to do his damage. So NRG is actually going to come back top of the lane here, and Hardek is actually almost going to get taken out by the Porcupine Mortar. So this clip just goes to show you how bad it is to engage in a straight line when you're playing against a Sky that has Frostburn. So let's move on to the next one. This next fight is going to be NRG taking a gold mine against Rogue here, and what we're going to see is Chambo throwing down a really nice gauntlet. So Chambo is going to toss the gauntlet down right here, and it's going to stun up Hammy. Now I drew this arrow on the screen to show you the path that Hammy should have jumped to had the gauntlet not gone down and stunned him. You can see that Hardek is kind of low right now, and any good Baron is going to follow that arrow that I had just drawn and use it to get the double attack with the jump jets onto Hardek, probably killing him, and that would be well, I don't know, it might be an even trade because the gold mine, bounties, you never know, but Hammy probably wanted to go in right there on Hardek, but it's not going to happen because of Chombo's nice gauntlet. So as the fight here unfreezes, NRG is going to get progressively more ahead due to mistakes by Rogue. So Evol's going to miss the Atlas Pauldron, and now he's going to go for the hook. And like I have on the screen right here, that is a bad idea. Now, Gatsby has not versed yet, and Chombo still has his Crucible, so you really probably know what's going to happen here. They pull in the Adagio and the Arden. Arden Crucibles the Quibble. Adagio instantly channels his ultimate, and Rogue explodes. Now, after this fight happens, Hammy is the only one running away. He actually, NRG tries to get the minion mine here, but Hammy is able to kill one of them. He dies in the end. They do kill the minion miner, I believe. But yeah, this fight was a definitive win for NRG. They took the gold mine and 3 kills, delayed ace, I believe. And yeah, it's just going to play out right here. Just watch Rogue explode, Hammy's jumping away. There's not really much that Rogue can do after you pull in a versing Adagio that is going CP, mind you. Does a lot of damage when he's roam, does even more when he's CP. So that was a big win for NRG. NRG has taken the Kraken from Rogue, but Evil wants more than that. He's not just going to sit idly by on the defense, and that's why he hooks Chombo from over the wall. So you might be saying, well, why wouldn't they just want to take one of the carries? Well, the carry wasn't there. So, and when you have 3 guys on the other side of the wall waiting to jump on whoever comes over, the support is just as good a target as the carry. So we're going to see here, Chombo gets pretty much exploded by Rogue, and this fight is just going to kick off. Now, Gatsby is so far out of position, and Hardek goes in without any support. Chombo and Hardek miscommunicate again. Chombo runs away. Hardek goes in. He has no support, no Vanguard, no Gift of Fire, and he's just going to go down here to the rockets and the bullets from the Valentine's duo, Bear and Sky. So this is a big fight win for Rogue because it allows them to defend this Kraken pretty uncontested. Now, actually, what's going to happen here next is Hardek is going to go down, but Hemi is going to get a little bit too aggressive onto Chombo, and the rest of his team aren't there. So he's going to get eaten up by he's going to get eaten up by Gatsby, and it's actually just going to end up as a 1-for-1 fight. What started as really good for Rogue ended as and the Kraken is actually going to take 2 turrets here, the second lane turret and the choke point turret. So it was decent for Rogue, as they were a little bit behind in this game at this point, and we're just going to see them taking down this Kraken. So, next clip. The next fight is around another Kraken, and we're going to see NRG taking another Kraken against Rogue. Now, Hammy tries to steal with the Ion Cannon. Maybe if he was Crystal Power that would have landed, but it's not to be with Weapon. So, NRG is actually going to take it, and Hammy gets stunned up by the gauntlet again. He gets the Atlas Pauldron on him, but Chombo is in a really bad spot because he just got hooked in. Hardek is escaping, but yet again, he's hanging Chombo out to dry because Chombo already used his Vanguard. So, what's going to happen here is Chombo's Vanguard is going to come off cooldown at the perfect time for him to die, and Hardek and Gatsby are going to be the only 2 left. Now, you might be saying, well, Baron is building his breaking point stacks, and you'd be right. Hammy is, at this point in the game, very strong. He's well on his way to double Tyrant's Monocle, and Chombo is going to go down here, and obviously, the obvious play for Hammy is jump jets plus breaking point stacks equals a double kill with my heroic perk splash damage. So, basically, what we're going to see here, I'm sure you can guess, is just Hammy jumping in and Rogue getting the ace here. So Rogue is going to get the ace here, and they're going to be able to take down the Kraken again for another 500 gold. And this is going to send Hammy even closer to that Sorrowblade Breaking Point Double Tyrant's Monocle build that he wishes for. Basically, Rogue is coming into their late game composition, but so is NRG. Now, the problem with NRG's composition is that Adagio is starting to have outlived his usefulness. Hardek is getting better and better late game, but not really when you compare him to the Sky and the Baron and the Finn combo. The Finn is just such an immovable tank at this point, with the hook especially, that Hardek just can't get onto Baron and Sky's incredible damage without them destroying him. So Rogue is really coming into their own, and we're really going to see that in the next clip. Next clip is another short one, but I just want to show you how one little mistake can turn the tide of the game. Yet again, it's another fountain fail. You see Chombo triggered his fountain at the complete wrong time there, and it's just going to allow Rogue to clean up NRG. Hardik has no support because the fountain was burned, and it's just a complete wipe for Rogue. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the next clip and think about the gold that got for Rogue. This last fight is Rogue's final form, basically. So they're able to chunk down NRG just from huge range and draw them into where they want to fight using the Kraken. Evol is just going to tank it up. He's going to get negligibly damaged there, and NRG is just in a really bad spot to be fighting a bear in the sky. So the first mistake here is going to happen when Chombo tries to throw down his gauntlet. Hardik takes a lot of damage from Wizard Sibs, and Chombo is going to get stunned by the Quibble while using his gauntlet. This is just really bad because Gauntlet is their only means of dealing with Hammy's mobility. Actually, they can't use it to deal with Hammy's mobility unless they land it directly on top of him because of the overdrive of jump jets. So they're just going to get pulled into all the damage from the Ford Barrage and the Porcupine Mortar, and it's really just cleanup on Rogue's part from here. So just goes to show you, don't let it get to late game against a Baron in a Sky. They're going to chase down Hardik and kill him over the wall, and it's just going to be cleanup from here. 3 turrets go down, Rogue wins this game. So with that out of the way, let's talk some general analysis about the game, not just the specific clips. So the deciding factor in this game, in my opinion, was that NRG picked what is basically a single carry composition into a triple threat composition from Rogue. Albeit it took Rogue a long time to scale, but in the end, the Finn protecting the Baron and the Sky combo with the late game damage boosts of Baron and Sky was just impossible for Hardik to deal with by himself. Gatsby had outlived his usefulness on Adagio at a very early point in the game, and Chombo was not consistent enough with his gauntlets for NRG to take this home. So that is just basically, in my opinion, why NRG lost this game and why Rogue won this game so handily in the end. So overall, great job to both teams. It's great to see more professional orgs in Vainglory, and I can't wait to break more matches down. Without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.